Hi, guys, and welcome to Back to Magic Tarot. My name is Brittany Jones. I am your intuitive tarot card reader and spiritual life coach. And I wanted to come on here. It's been a minute to talk about Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, Mercury is going retrograde today in the sign of Aquarius, and it's going to move backwards into the sign of Capricorn. And it will be retrograde, I believe, until the beginning of February. I'd have to look and check my notes. I think it's February 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like and what might be coming up. Just some intuitive messages from me personally, and then we're going to get into some cards. As you can see, I got a whole lot of decks on this side of me. These are the decks that I've been using all week, and I figured before I clean up my desk, let's pull some cards for YouTube. So yeah, as far as Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, I feel like I know personally, and from the energy that I have been picking up on all week, a lot of us have been receiving a lot of great ideas. Okay, we are inspired right now, which is an amazing thing. Aquarius has to do with ideas, unique ideas, quirky ideas. Ideas that are specific to us. So as a collective, we are working on things. We're working on building. We're working on gathering, engaging. So whether it is, I am specifically channeling ideas related to business, but these are also ideas related to relationships as well. I know personally, I've received some ideas on how to improve my relationships that are closest to me. And it's about taking action on those ideas, messy action on the ideas that we are receiving, this inspiration that we're receiving from spirit at this time, and about fine tuning those things, right? So, Aquarius is not about perfection. Aquarius doesn't care about being perfect. Aquarius just wants to go against the grain. It's also very innovative, okay? And when you talk about inventing things, being innovative, being pioneering, there is no clear path. There is no one way. And a lot of us, especially if you have found your way to this reading, you resonate with the energy of perfectionism and wanting to do things a certain way and having an idea and a plan of how things should go. See, perfectionism is a way to keep us safe, right? Because we're afraid of making mistakes. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of taking the wrong step or making the wrong decision. But with both Mercury and Venus being retrograde right now, it is time to make mistakes. This is a good time to make mistakes and learn from them. You know, you can't learn from success the same way that you can learn from failure. Success comes from failure. So, in this brand new space that we're in, where spirit has cleared out, and in some cases, in some timelines, spirit is currently clearing out a lot of old debris from our old lives, whether that be in the form of relationships, the ways that we make money. It's very specific these last couple of years to relationships and making money. That's been the theme. Especially 2021, it's been the theme, and the theme is moving into 2022. And we've cleared the debris. We've gotten down to ground zero. We're in the full type of energy where we're starting new things and we don't know exactly what's ahead of us and we're trying to figure it out. But in all actuality, we're not supposed to care. We're just supposed to put one foot in front of the other and have faith that things are going to work themselves out, and play more, have more fun with this experience and these experiences, instead of, because we are in control of our perspectives, the way that we're perceiving what is happening to us. We can choose to see the good, we can choose to see the light, we can choose to be grateful, we can choose to have fun, or we can choose to make things heavy. We can choose to make ourselves more responsible than we're supposed to be. We can choose to look at things negatively. We can choose to be afraid. And we're used to doing those things. We're coming out of a chapter or an era of working hard and getting things done and doing them right and knowing the step by step process. It's just like it's similar to, the different levels of the school system. And for example, my daughter's in middle school and she's in that in between stage of seventh grade. When she gets to eighth grade and she's the leader, she's made it through all of these different levels and she knows her way around the school. She knows the rules of the school. She knows the way that things go. But when she comes from eighth grade into freshman year of high school, she's a beginner all over again. And we're at that freshman stage. We are beginners all over again and we know nothing. So there's nothing to execute perfectly because we don't know the path, the way. Especially when it comes to my business specifically, I know that I want to have a structure and a plan and a guideline, a content calendar, and things like that. And Spirit continues to tell me just play with the process, do what you feel, and the structure will come. So that's a message to a lot of us. Play with it, have fun with it, do what you feel. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Okay, go with the flow during this retrograde season. We have two personal planets retrograde right now, and Venus being retrograde in the sign of Capricorn has not been a cakewalk. Okay, it hasn't been. It's brought up a lot of insecurities. The sign of Capricorn has to do with insecurities, and it also has to do with putting up a front for the world and making the world think that things are okay. Make the world think that things are okay when in all actuality we're cowering on the inside, we're crying on the inside, we're worried and scared internally. And with Venus being retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, it's been challenging all of that. So if you're in relationships and you're feeling insecure and you're not speaking up for your experiences, then you need to start doing that. If you're in business and you want certain things from your partners or you want certain things from your clients and you're not expressing that or you're not sharing, if you have insecurities right now, it's time to not challenge the insecurities but explore them. That's that pioneering spirit of Mercury being retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. It changes our perspective. It makes us look at things from a more open perspective, okay? From an opportunistic perspective. These things that are triggering us, these situations and events that are triggering us are really opportunities for us to grow. So really be mindful of that and focus on that, especially when Mercury travels back into the sign of Capricorn. Um, our insecurities may be enhanced even more. I believe by the time Mercury makes it to Capricorn, we'll be out of the retrograde period for Venus. So that's good. Um, But the challenges when it comes to relationships are not over. Everybody knows Mercury retrograde is X season. X's are coming back up, popping back up, which can make things insecure. Also, what else I have channeled is that the divine feminine has had a very difficult experience at the beginning of Venus retrograde season. And now that we're entering into this Mercury retrograde season, the divine masculine is going to be feeling these insecurities. It's already been happening over the course of this week. I feel like a lot of divine feminines have come out of their heavy phase and into a lighter, more playful phase over the course of the last week, while divine masculines are moving into that heavier phase. And especially for that masculine energy, be mindful because men don't like to show signs of weakness. So where they're experiencing their insecurities, it's going to come off I don't even want to say a lot more defensive, but at least as defensive. Women are more open to expressing their emotions. Men are not as much. So just for those in relationships, be mindful of that. But I'm going to pull a couple of cards for business for those who have new businesses or have new ideas. Let's just pull a couple of cards for these ideas. social media, your guides will create the strategy. So for anybody who is promoting their ideas on social media, again, that goes back to kind of what I was saying about, the structure will come. So just show up. It does not have to be perfect. You do not have to have every detail of whatever the idea is laid out. You do not have to have a specific plan. Spirit wants us to take action. This is not a retrograde season where we sit back and relax. If you are on a similar timeline to me, that time was the last week of December, first week of January, where we got to rest, right? And we're still in that phase of rest, but if you sat down during the last week of December, first week of January, and you rested, then you had, now that you're coming out of it, at least now that I'm coming out of it, there's a better understanding of a balance between work and play and doing what feels good. If I don't feel in alignment with showing up online, then I won't. But when I feel like it, I will. And when I get inspiration, I show up and I share it on social media. I don't wait for it to be perfect and for me to have everything figured out. 111 as I say that. Okay, so that's a message for somebody. It does not have to be perfect for you to take action. Take that step, and Spirit is going to show you the next one. But Spirit can't show you the plan or the path if you're standing still waiting for it to be revealed to you. You're not going to get it at the beginning of the journey. You're going to get it as you go through. Okay. Anything else for the ideas that are being downloaded and shared with us at this time, Spirit? Anything else for the ideas? Thank you. Okay. Commitment. It says step out of indecision. That's even more of the same. And then the golden arrow, focus on a specific target. So again, we all have very specific and unique ideas that are being given to us, okay? And this is looking on a grander scheme. So I might have, as a spiritual leader, one idea for a certain project, and then I see another spiritual leader doing something different, but that's their idea and their inspiration. Whereas someone who might be in the beauty service has an idea for their industry, right? So we all have these ideas to make things better, to make things easier, and we're supposed to be acting on them. So your ideas are not just for you. Your ideas are meant to help the collective. Your ideas are not even just for your customers. They are meant to help even the people that your customers will touch. So think about how you can help someone help somebody else, right? So if I'm helping someone become more in alignment with themselves, how is that going to benefit them in showing up and helping other people? So be mindful of that. Don't procrastinate. All right. We procrastinate because we want things to be perfect. We procrastinate because we're afraid that they won't be perfect. Let's see. What do I want to pull from? Let's keep going with the ideas and the inspiration for now. And then I'm going to get into relationships. After this, we'll pull a few tarot cards and then we'll wrap. But yeah, don't get into this need to be perfect. You have to let go of this need to be perfect and this need to have everything figured out, because you're only going to frustrate yourself in this season, because Spirit's not letting up. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to get all of the guidance all at once. It's just not going to happen. And so while you're sitting there waiting and fuming, fume and steam coming off of the top of your head because you're so mad that nothing is happening in your life and things are not working out the way that you want them to, just know that you have the power to make things move. They might not move in the direction that you think that they should, but they'll be moving in the direction that they are supposed to, just by taking that inspired action. And don't worry about having the next step figured out. Okay. Just if Spirit gives you that first step, take that first step. Okay, and focus on the feeling and not the, because we're so in our heads. There's so much logic and reason and rationality just because that's how we're used to doing things. As a Gemini, I'm very used to rationalizing my emotions, and I'm learning in this season how to actually feel my feelings and let the feeling guide me versus the rationalization of my emotions, right? Just what am I feeling? And how do I accept that and embrace that instead of trying to rationalize it and fix it or solve it? Just feel it. Just feel it and know, okay, that doesn't feel good. So that doesn't mean I have to fix that thing. That just means let me focus on something else that does feel good, right? I'm going to focus on the best feeling thing. I'm not going to focus on what doesn't feel good. We don't have to fix problems. I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks, and that's one of her teachings or their teachings is that you don't have to fix problems. You just have to enjoy the things that feel good, and the solutions just naturally come, right? Don't get overwhelmed and all in your head about what's going wrong and how you can fix it. Just focus on how you feel. And if that thing doesn't make you feel good, then focus on the best feeling thing and take a step in that direction. And that is a great message in association with these ideas of inspiration that we have been receiving. Okay, creator air. There are those ideas. The edge of evolution is messy at the bottom of the deck. How perfect is that? The edge of, we are evolving. You guys, we are literally experiencing and witnessing human evolution. Our DNA is changing right now. Our society is changing. The industrial age was a form of evolution. The technological age is a form of evolution, and we are experiencing it right now. So it is messy. We had to deconstruct that previous era that we came from, that we were so familiar with, where things were so solidified. And now we're stepping into a new era where it's literally a brand new world. And what's so fun about it is that manifestations come that much more quickly. So when we really tune in to this creator air energy, when we really tune into this creator air energy, it manifests so much more quickly than it did in this previous cycle where you could think about a thing and then you had to work hard to make it happen. Where now you can think about a thing, and as long as you are in alignment with that thing, it just comes. It just naturally comes. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to think hard. Spirit, we are coming into a space where creator and creation work together. It's intertwined, it's interfused, and it's this beautiful, beautiful energy and this beautiful thing. And we're not alone. We're not working alone. Not only are we meant to be working with one another, but we're also working with the spiritual energies at hand as well to make things, um, to create things. Soul on fire. Get excited. Get excited. What makes you excited? What makes you feel good? So we haven't asked ourselves that in a long time. That's how I feel. I feel like we have not asked ourselves, how do we feel and what makes us feel good in a long time. We've asked ourselves, what should we be doing? What is the expectation? What should be happening right now? How should things look, right? And that should word is almost like a curse word to me now. I don't like to use should, would, or could. I only like to use words like can and do and be. What can we do? Not what should we do, but what can we do? Who can we be? What feels best to us? Do that thing. I come from an accounting background, and now you know, you go from being an accountant and sitting behind a computer desk, not talking to anybody, solving problems on a computer screen all day, to now that's all I do is engage with people, and I inspire people, and I share gifts with people, and I live a life where my soul is on fire. And this with here, your soul on fire, and then it also says make a mission statement for your soul. That's right underneath soul on fire. We have to really tune into what it is that we want. I don't know if a lot of us know what we want. I feel like a lot of us know what is expected of us. I think a lot of us know what we wanted in that old chapter, in that old era, in that old phase, but now it's time to to do some reconsidering, and not from a space of emotion, but from a space of feeling. See, there's a difference. There's a difference. Feeling is it's like a guiding force, your desire. Your desires, what it is you truly want. Emotions are a physical experience that we receive when we're triggered or when sensory information comes into us. So we might see something, we might hear something, we might feel something. A touch or a sound or a smell can trigger an emotion, and those emotions can be volatile. But the feeling, allowing your heart to guide you, not see, emotions are fear. Fear is an emotion. Okay, a feeling, love is a feeling. You feel that. You feel into what it is that you want to receive. So allowing your heart to guide you. And with the creator air and your soul shines. Look at this. The similar colors and the similar imagery, that's beautiful. Creator, your soul shines from the uniqueness that is pouring into you at this time. So don't be afraid to take action on those inspired ideas. It's going to create the platform that you need to be successful, whether that is in business or it's in relationship. Okay, let's pull a few relationship cards. I think that is good on those ideas and the inspiration that we are going into, that we're working on during Mercury retrograde. But let's see what is coming for us as a collective in relationships. Forgiving and learning. Wow. Forgiving and learning. What a beautiful card for Mercury retrograde, because retrogrades are all about lessons and learning lessons, okay? And in this, and especially coming into this full moon that's happening in the sign of Cancer, which is going to be an intense full moon, especially with it being a water sign. And the moon is at home in Cancer. There are a few other aspects, like the sun being conjunct Pluto, that's going to make it, and opposing the moon is going to make it kind of volatile as well. But that's going to be a great time to release. So the question is, who do you need to forgive? And the answer usually is yourself. Okay. But finding people that you hold resentment against really points you in the direction of where you hold resentment against yourself. So, who do you need to forgive, and what do you need to forgive them for? And how is that a reflection of what it is you're holding against yourself? And how can you forgive you for that? You might want to play that back. Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to forgive them for? And how is that a reflection of what you are holding against yourself? And how can you release that energy and allow the full moon to help you do that? It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. Okay. So this is also about that previous era that I was speaking to and talking about previously, where it was so hard. Things were so difficult in that previous time frame because there were so many expectations and there were so many standards, and things were so set in stone, and we were not happy with the way that things were, right? And now we're coming into a place where we can think it and it comes into our existence easily once we get into alignment with that feeling thing, right? But in order to be in alignment with the feeling thing, we have to release the emotions of the past. That's very important. That's very important. So, what are you holding on to, not only within yourself and not only within the people who are in your current present reality, but from your past and your past experiences? What burdens are you still holding on to? What resentments do you still hold? What strife do you still carry? What fears do you have from the past that are no longer valid today? It's so important to explore, because we have a lot of fears from a lot of us. So with this being a relationship card, a lot of us have been in negative relationships in the past, and we've had negative experiences. We've been lied to, we've been cheated on, we've been abused verbally, physically. Trigger warning, I'm sorry, but we've gone through these negative experiences in relationships, and now so many of us are entering into better relationships and higher levels of commitment, happier, healthier relationships. We're receiving what it is that we want. Our soulmates. A lot of us are attracting soulmates, twin flames. We are in divinely guided connections right now. where the things that we once had to worry about, we don't have to worry about anymore, but we're bringing our insecurities into those with us, especially Mercury retrograde, especially Venus retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Insecurities are rampant. A lot of us have been having a lot of negative thoughts about ourselves and about others and about our situations and our finances and about our relationships. We have a lot of negative, pessimistic thoughts associated with that. And all of those things are related to the experiences that we have in the past that we need to let go of so that we can more fully embrace and embody the present moment and the future that it lays ahead of us that's so great and so bright. Okay? So what do you need to let go of? What do you need to release and utilize the energy coming up? I think it's on Monday. The full moon is on Monday. That's going to help you to let that thing go. So that you can be more open to receiving the blessings that are coming, specifically in relationships, but also in finance and business as well. Right? We got so many great things coming towards us. We have the ability to manifest our desires. Play more, flirt more. If you've been experiencing challenges within the relationships, if the insecurities have been running rampant in your relationships, then instead of focusing on the insecurities, try to flirt more. That's hard. It's hard to flip that switch. I know from from experience. It's hard to move from I'm worried about what you're doing. I have trust issues. What's going on over here? To ooh, I love you. Even though we had those same feelings, like at the same time that we're worried and concerned about what's happening, we also want to for lack of a better term, fuck. We also want to fuck. We also want to play. We also want to be flirtatious and have fun. So, and it's really about what we choose to give our attention to. Do we want to give our attention to the insecurities that make us worried and make us not feel so good, or do we want to flirt and play and enjoy each other? A lot of us are very passionate relationships, and there's a lot of flirtation and attraction and excitement surrounding, like, oh my goodness, it's you, are you real, let me touch you, let me see if it's tangible, oh, and I like what I see and I like what I feel and all of these things, so it's really a good thing that we're in a great relationship, that we're in a great feeling that we have access to, but we're allowing our fears, which are meant to keep us safe, they come in to keep us safe. We don't want to be hurt like we were in the past, so our fear is meant to protect us, but it's irrational. It's not necessary. You see, you're keeping yourself from having fun and enjoying the connection by being too defensive, if that makes sense. Okay. Anything else, Spirit, from this relationship deck? Reconciliation. So, if you have been experiencing difficulty or challenges in the relationship, expect reconciliation and expect things to look different, to be new. Okay, I did a reading with someone recently where, okay, forget the reading. So, I was watching Think Like a Man last night, and there was that part where everybody just like ended up, getting into it and breaking up, right? And it was for the best because when they all came back, they came back with a renewed sense of awareness and a greater appreciation for one another and for the connection, and they valued each other more, and they had worked through their issues individually so that when they came back together, there were changes that were made. And so if you've been experiencing difficulties in your relationship and in your connection, know that those difficulties are meant to make the connection stronger. It sounds weird, but it's the truth. Okay, so embrace the obstacles that are happening in your relationships right now, because it's coming back around. Also, I see exes coming back around as well. It is Mercury retrograde and Venus is retrograde, so don't be surprised if an old fling pops up or an old flame pops up. And don't allow that to ruffle your feathers or rile your insecurities. So stay optimistic about your love life. So I see two different scenarios happening here. If you're in a connection that doesn't feel good, if you are an individual that is still holding on to a relationship from that previous cycle, because you don't want to let go of it, but it doesn't feel good, you're not happy in it, there's no attraction, there's no playfulness, there's nothing but spite, you're arguing all the time, there's no respect in the connection, and it's just very negative, then a new individual coming in might be the person that's meant to clear that out, or you need to release that connection in order to move into the new love that's coming. Now, for others of you who are in a good place in relationship and you're happy in your connections, I'll pull another love deck. You're happy in your connections, and then an ex pops back up or pops back in. Don't allow that to ruffle your feathers or make you insecure, because this is about learning to trust your partner. Okay, trusting your partner and having an awareness and an understanding that they are loyal to you, that they love you in the same way that you love them, that they want to please you, that they don't want to hurt you, that they enjoy you, that they don't want anybody else. Okay, so that's really, allow that to be really a stamp of approval. If you are in healthy love, positive love, happy love, reassuring and reaffirming and supportive love, then this reconciliation where an ex or someone from the past pops back up is just another obstacle that's meant to make the connection stronger. Okay. Someone might also need to forgive their ex. Right? That's the trust issues piece of it. You need to forgive the person that hurt you in the past so that you can embrace the person that wants to love you in the present moment. That's a message for someone. A relationship evolving to the next phase once you forgive and learn. Okay, this healing, this forgiving and learning evolves the relationship into the next phase once you heal. Once you heal from your past, and once you forgive yourself and learn the lesson and forgive the ex and learn the lesson that you were supposed to learn from it, that makes you more whole, and then you are able to contribute more successfully into the relationship and into the connection. Okay. Someone from the past is hurt and sad and remorseful and regretting a decision that they made, right? So whoever the past energy is that did not behave appropriately, that hurt you in the past, and it could be one person, it could be multiple individuals. I see someone learning their lesson with this reconciliation and heartbroken. They want to come back in because they feel bad about what it is that they did. And in all actuality, they need to forgive themselves as well. It's not necessarily about them wanting to be back in connection with the people who are in healthy union. It's about their own sense of healing and self-acceptance, right? They feel guilty about what they did. They feel remorseful about their actions and their decisions. And yes, they project that onto you. Well, if I would have kept that person, or if I would have been nicer to that person, or if I would have done the right thing in that relationship, maybe we'd still be together. Maybe I'd actually be happy. It's not that they want to be happy with you. They want to be happy, and they think that you're a solution to their happiness, if that makes sense. When in all actuality, they just need to heal from their decisions and make better decisions, forgive themselves for the decisions that they made so that they can go on and find their divine union. Okay. So there are some people who are still in the connections from the past, who are still engaging in those past connections, and they're not happy in those past connections. And then there are other individuals who are in happy union. They're in happy union, and the people from the past might be coming back around. Okay. And then finally, I just feel like you need to pour into each other with this golden mirror. Like, have fun with the honeymoon phase that you're in. If you're in that happy, healthy relationship or that happy, healthy union, have fun with it. Have fun with the relationship phase. Have fun with the honeymoon phase and the flirtation and the playfulness that comes along with being in this stage of the relationship, because there are other stages of the relationship. This is not the only one. So enjoy this while it lasts, because it's not going to last forever. I think that I'm going to end it here. I wanted to pull some tarot, but I think that those messages were sufficient and significant. Um, Hopefully, you gained a lot from this. If you would like assistance in your ascension journey and moving through Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, this retrograde season that's been so challenging, whether it be within business or in relationships, then please reach out to me. I'm going to put the information to book a reading with me in the description box below. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I will be doing a full moon reading on Monday. So, yeah, subscribe to my channel for more content. And yeah, until next time, guys, be blessed.